And welcome back to Primetime Sports Tuesday. With the quest for a permanent coach for the West Indies men's team still on, CEO of Cricket West Indies, Johnny Grave, has hinted that the board could turn to a regional coach for the solution. Renata Brown now reports.
Otis Gibson and Phil Simmons are two of the most recent former players to have coached the West Indies men's team. Outside of those, the regional board has opted for overseas coaches, with Australian Stuart Law being the latest. However, in a recent interview, Cricket West Indies CEO Johnny Grave announced that more focus will be paid to homegrown coaches.
We can say this, that we want to get Caribbean coaches involved in the roles within the Caribbean. We don't want to rely on overseas coaches, and we're not saying that overseas coaches don't have a role in terms of specialist positions like a Mushtaq Ahmed, etc. But we want to get Caribbean coaches back coaching at all levels within the Caribbean, including the Caribbean Premier League.
Cricket analyst Christopher Gale agrees with this move by the board.
I think it is a good idea. I think we need to build a culture of our own and a culture for success of our own also. I think we can't just every time go out for foreign coaches. I think that in itself is also from a cost perspective. I think it's going to be demanding more for us to go seek coaches and resources overseas.
The question, however, is whether or not there are coaches in the region that are able to operate at the international level. And if there are, why wasn't one given the interim role with the team after the departure of Stuart Law, even though a list of regional coaches was compiled by Director of Cricket Jimmy Adams? Grave didn't answer directly, but gave an indication as to what the board is looking for.
Coach education is a big part of that, so we need to upskill our coaches, give them the support. Being a head coach now isn't about being a technical coach. You've got to be amazing at planning. It's non-stop cricket, especially if you're a coach of all three formats. I know Ashley Giles in England was saying, maybe they might, when Trevor Bayliss steps down, they might split test coach and white ball coach. And you look at that schedule from 2019 through to 2023, and there's very little time off. So your head coach has to be a man manager, leader, very good understanding of sports science and medicine, not just technically good at coaching cricket.
Grave, though, says regional coaches should be supported.
Amazing talent in the Caribbean, and we should celebrate that and promote that. And it's not just about head coaches, it's about all different from on and off the field. And we also need to recognise that yes, it's about experience, but we also need to give people the support, and that's why coach education is so important.
Currently, interim men's coach Richard Pybus will remain in charge of the team until the India series, which starts this summer. Renata Brown for TVJ Sports.